last week sometime, I posted an old picture. It was a throwback Thursday of the kids doing one of the incredible routines that we did on Dance Moms, one after another. We did over 500 numbers. And people always ask, what was your favorite number? And I have these 3 go-to routines that I always say. But every Sunday, we do dance classes on Zoom around the world. There are kids from everywhere attending class with Miss Gianna and I. So every week, she teaches choreography from one of the routines that we did. And every time we decide which one is going to be posted and which one we're going to work on, I think that's my favorite. Oh my God, this was amazing. I can't believe we did this. I forgot about it. So there are so many routines, and it's great that the kids have an opportunity now to learn those routines step by step. So anyway, I posted a picture, and of course, the fans, the kids, the people who follow me took it the wrong way and had to just hash out all the details, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was sweet. I thought it was nice. I said that I miss competing every weekend. I miss the creative aspect. I miss trying to scurry for the costumes and coming up with the right headpiece, the right hair, the right makeup. All of those things enhance the choreography. And dealing with the music, with the network, and this horrible music we had to choose from. Anyway, that's kind of what I meant. And I also thought, where would we all be now? You know, what would be happening? How would our lives have been different had Dance Moms never happened? I didn't mean it to be negative. It's just a thing I think about. Would I have ever gone to prison? Nope. That I'm sure of. Would I have ended up in a wheelchair? Paralyzed? Probably not. No. Even if I had a pain in my neck, I wouldn't have been in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, actually, and had no choice but to go to Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital. Had I been in Pittsburgh and the freedom to go to whatever hospital I wanted to, they probably would have caught it and started the chemo before I ended up in a wheelchair. Anyway, those are things that I think about on a daily basis. And I hate to live a life of regrets. Kids, don't do that. Do not live a life of regrets. And I see little posters and people posting things, you know, it's better to have tried than to never have tried at all. It's better to have gone for it than to just, you know, dream about things. I don't know. I think maybe having a television show was a dream that could have stayed a dream. And I say that, and I don't mean to be ungrateful. I don't need to go there, you know. I am grateful for every opportunity that I received. I'm grateful for any money that I made. However, making that money got me into a lot of trouble. And all the opportunities that I did receive because of the show, I didn't get to take advantage of. And I found out a lot of other things. You know, I had gone to the Tony Awards in New York City many times prior to doing a television show, just because I was so interested in Broadway, and I had kids in Broadway shows at the time, and I wanted to be there if they won, you know, or to see them perform in the opening number. So I didn't realize, and it was my own stupidity, that I could go to the Emmys, that I could go to the Oscar party at Elton John's. I just had to pay. You know, those things you can go to. Anybody can go to. I didn't have to wait for a network to buy the tickets and hand them to me. I could have gone on my own. And those are the things that I love about Hollywood, about the television industry, about all the excitement here in Los Angeles and the red carpets. That's the stuff I love. And I could have just hired a publicist and got on the red carpet, you know, myself. So there's things that I learned, a lot of things. And if any variable would have happened, I know that the show would have never happened. When I say a variable, I mean my dad. Had my dad been alive, well, first of all, I wouldn't have declared bankruptcy because my dad had amazing, perfect, clean credit. And he would have still been handling my books and everything would have been fine. Some of the moms, too, I can think of off the top of my head, would have never, ever, ever been able to interview for a television show because they either would have been thrown out because of their mouths or they weren't permitted there because they owed too much money. You know, once you bounce one check, okay, fine, happens to everybody. Then a second check, then a third check. You know, when you're putting $10 on this credit card and then $25 on this other credit card and you're playing all these games, you know, you really can't afford it and you're living beyond your means. And if you come in and you talk to my dad, or if you would have, and told him the situation and told him what was going on, you know, if it was your health, if you were in bad shape, if your husband lost his job, whatever, he would have worked out a deal with you. He did it many times with many people, and I never even knew about it sometimes. You know, I never knew that there were kids that couldn't afford to pay that he was letting come. I didn't know that. And he didn't want me to know. That was the business part, and I was the artistic dance teacher part inside the room, making stars. Not just stars that you see on TV, but stars in the real world, stars out there on Broadway, stars at Disney, stars at Tokyo Disney, stars on cruise ships all around the world. Yes. So anyway, Vegas. Don't forget all my students that are working in Vegas that I'm so proud of. Yes. Now, back to the show. So let's just say some of the people wouldn't have ever been on the show. They wouldn't have been at my studio. So even if they wanted to come in and interview, it probably would have been a bad vibe. They would have been embarrassed, afraid to walk in, or my dad probably just wouldn't let them walk in. Not the way they spoke about me, not the way they talked upstairs in our waiting room about other people's children. No, they wouldn't have been there anymore. And if they were there, they would have been paid, and I wouldn't feel the way I do about them. So anyway, that's that. Now, what about when these producers showed up and they tromped in with mud on their shoes and leaves and this, that, and the other thing? Would they have made it past the lobby? No. Would they have come into the dance room? Would they have stomped their feet all over my gorgeous, beautiful floors and the beautiful Marley? No. Mm-mm. When my dad was there taking care of things, you know, you could eat off those floors. They were so clean and meticulous and perfect. So that would have never happened. And they certainly wouldn't have been telling me what to do in my studio. No way. And standing at my front desk, one of the producers for the production company literally took the kids' contracts that I had with the kids. All the kids in my studio, every single one, from 2.5 years old to 18, signed a document that said if I got them work, that I got 10% of that. Is that wrong? No, because I had learned from my past mistakes. I had kids in 20-some Broadway shows at this point, and I didn't get a piece of any of them, but yet I drove them back and forth to New York City for the auditions. I did that to some of the kids, for some of the kids. I dressed them. I was at the mall, in the store, sitting, well, their mother or dad probably sitting in the waiting room, the dressing room, the kid in the dressing room, and me running around like a lunatic getting the clothing. You're going to wear this, try this on, try this suit on, try this dress on, try this outfit on. I was the one pulling the clothes. I was the one making the kid dress them. I was the one fixing them on the child. I was the one getting another side. I did all that. Does that deserve 10%? Yeah. And what about when Bernie Telsey Casting and Johnson Liff, they're calling my studio for specific students, for a child that does a left side aerial that looks between 12 and 14, and we need them tomorrow. They wouldn't have called the parent at home. They don't even know who these parents are or the kids. They called me, my studio. I took them to New York, or I told them where to go, what to do, what to wear, what song to sing. That deserves 10%. Absolutely. So now we're in a TV show situation. Nobody knew it was going to go on forever. Nobody knew that it would last 8 seasons. Nobody knew that it would generate the type of money that it did for the production company, for the network. We didn't know that. And it happened. And I could have had 10% of those kids. And I should have. But a producer stood there and literally ripped the contracts in half and said, oh, you're going to be making so much money, you won't need these. You won't need 10% of the kids. Where am I now? In a wheelchair? With everything that I made gone because of attorneys, accountants, forensic accountants. Didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah.